Thank you for staying with us on the Entrepreneurial SME. If you've just joined us, this week we are exploring South Africa's tech health space and the opportunities available for tech startups with Neil Kinsley, Head of Distribution from Unu Health. Neil, thank you for staying with me. Now, it is a lot that's happening in the tech space, and I look at what you're doing now and I say to myself, is there room in the value chain of what you're doing for other tech-based organizations to play in the health space?
You know, the most amazing and the wonderful thing about health tech is that it is changing all the time.
Yeah.
We're talking about virtual care here, but the reality is that virtual care has been around for many, many years. If we start looking at the new innovations that are coming in, where we're starting to talk about wearables, keeping patients at home and having them monitored 24 hours a day by healthcare practitioners that are sitting potentially in another country. These are the kind of innovations and the new spaces of health tech that is opening up. It's an unbelievably exciting place to be in, and believe me, there's a lot of space.
When I start using this kind of technology, Neil, is it appointment-based? Do I get an emergency and dial in and there'll be somebody on the other side? Or this is only convenient when there's an appointment made?
No, so we've made provision for both. The vast majority of our consultations are obviously daily primary care sort of ailments that are presented, but of course there are emergencies, because we don't only provide a GP and nurse consultation facility, we also provide acute and chronic medications, but also a portion of in-hospital cover as well. And of course there would be emergencies as well. We make provision for that as well.
So every time I have conversations with entrepreneurs and I hear amazing stories, I always say, but I'm sure there are pitfalls. What are some of the challenges in building this platform?
I think some of the challenges obviously are the fact that you need to have access to the net at the very least. Although we've zero-rated the application or the website, you do need to have application to the net. There are many ways of getting around that, of course, and there are so many companies out there that have come up with innovative ways of doing that. That's the one. The second one, of course, is that it's fair to say that not every single ailment is going to be dealt with by using health tech. There are absolutely times you're going to have to be with your doctor in the room where he can do a full physical on you. But as I said in the beginning, at no point do we advocate that this should ever take the place of an in-room consultation. But it does work very effectively side by side, where we're able to provide quicker access at a more efficient rate, and removing that idea of delayed care. I want to add in a further prong to this, and that is, in this country, we have so many people who are simply unaware of their health numbers. And their health numbers is what I call your basic bodily numbers that you should know. Things like blood pressure, BMI, your blood sugar. There are so many non-communicable diseases in this country that are killing off people simply because they don't know what their health numbers are. How many people are diabetic in this country that simply don't know, or hypertensive in this country who simply don't know? We've built technology within the Unu Health app that literally via a face scan can take that information very accurately and populate a personal medical history. So for the first time, we may be giving people access to their health numbers that they potentially may never have had before. Now that becomes a really interesting story, right? Because we're now giving information
I love it, Neil.
Never had.
It also means that my medical history is available seamlessly. I don't have to start from scratch. When I speak to another health provider, they can look at the information that then they know this guy's got diabetes, blah, blah, and blah, blah, and this is where we're taking it from. That I like very much. However,
look, in a perfect world, unfortunately, we'd love to have that, but medical history sits in a number of siloed areas. So what I'm saying is that the information that you insert into our app, your own personal information, things like height, weight, smoker, non-smoker, plus the vital information that we glean from the face scan technology, puts together a medical history for you that can be shared with providers going forward.
Now, we're in that season, Neil, where it's end of term for government. Now, when that happens, typically the president sits with lots of bills that they need to sign before they get out of office. And I know now that there's the National Health Insurance Bill. How is that impacting your business? How is it impacting the tech health companies?
So let me start by saying this. I don't think you'll find anybody that will argue against the concept of universal health coverage to everybody. I don't think anybody would argue against that. But I think it would be fair to say that this is a long road before we see full implementation. Whether it be, and honestly, whether it be 2 years, 12 years, or 20 years, the problems that people face are problems that we face today. There are people that are sitting with the challenge of accessing basic primary healthcare today. We're trying to solve those problems today.
Yeah.
We can't necessarily wait around for the full implementation. So, of course, we will work within any regulations within our country. Right now, we're trying to sort out problems that are happening right now.
In one line, in 30 seconds, Neil, whose bread are you taking and where to from Unu after this?
I'm sorry, whose?
Whose bread are you taking by providing this?
No, I don't think anybody's. I think that the fact that we were able to provide access to primary care to people who never had that access in the first place, I think is actually providing bread, if anything else.
Okay.
And I think this is about the patient. This is about the people who have not had the care. Where to from here? We will continue to innovate. We will continue to bring access to those who have not had it before. And we will continue to build our health tech platform.
Neil Kinsley, wonderful chatting to you, and thank you very much for your time.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you for watching the Entrepreneurial SME. From me, Rams Mabote. Good night and God bless.
Telkom Business, behind South African businesses' drive to thrive.